Nancy Pelosi has said she is heartbroken and traumatized by the violent attack on her husband. The U.S. House of Representatives Speaker said her family was grateful for the quick response of law enforcement and for his medical care. Paul Pelosi was struck with a hammer by a male assailant at the couple's San Francisco home on Friday. The 82-year-old's condition continues to improve after the attack, Mrs. Pelosi said. He suffered a fractured skull and injuries to his right arm and hands, and remains in hospital receiving life-saving care, she said. The suspect, David DePape, 42, is said to have demanded to see Mrs. Pelosi, stoking fears about political violence in the run-up to the 8th of November midterm elections. The speaker, who was on the other side of the country in Washington, D.C. at the time of the assault, flew back to see her husband in hospital. In her statement, she said prayers and warm wishes were a comfort and were helping Mr. Pelosi's recovery. Police officers responded to a call at around 02:27 local time, 09:27 GMT, on Friday. They found Mr. Pelosi and the suspect struggling over a hammer, but it was wrested from Mr. Pelosi by the intruder, who violently assaulted him with it. The suspect was tackled and disarmed by officers. He had attempted to tie up Mr. Pelosi until Nancy got home, law enforcement sources told CBS News. He reportedly shouted, "Where's Nancy?" during the incident. He is also facing charges of assault with a deadly weapon, burglary and several other felonies. Mrs. Pelosi, also 82, is one of the most powerful politicians in the country. She was re-elected to a fourth term as Speaker of the House of Representatives in 2021, making her second in line to the presidency, after Vice President Kamala Harris. The Baltimore native has represented the San Francisco area in Congress since 1987, and typically splits her time between California and Washington, D.C. She is currently fundraising and campaigning with Democrats around the country ahead of the midterm elections. Paul Pelosi is the multimillionaire founder of a venture capital firm and lives primarily in San Francisco, where he was born and raised. The couple have been married since 1963 and have 5 children. Members of Congress have been on high alert over security threats since the riot at the U.S. Capitol in January 2021. Mrs. Pelosi's office in the building was ransacked by supporters of then-President Donald Trump during the riot. U.S. President Joe Biden has condemned the attack on Paul Pelosi and said, "Enough is enough when it comes to violence in politics."